Thank you very much for continuing so far. We're discussing on second chapter. So this is second chapter, 17th verse. अविनाशी तु तद्विद्धि येन सर्वमिदं ततं विनाशम् अव्ययस्यास्य न कश्चित् कर्तुम् अर्हति. So here Krishna is saying about the quality of soul. So another quality of soul is mentioned here. So Abhinashi, that which cannot be destroyed, that which cannot be perishable. Abhinashi tu tad vidhi. So you should know that yenam sarvam idam tatam. So the presence of the soul, uh, you know, enumerates the presence of the soul itself gives the consciousness to the whole body. So when the soul is gone, the consciousness is gone. So you don't understand whether the person is living. So the person becomes dead. Abhyayasya, so this is imperishable. And vinasam, so destruction. So it's like one cannot destroy the soul, but abhyayasya is also referring to imperishable. That means it does not go on decaying, just like the body decays. So just like when the body gets diseased, so we take some medicine. So when you take a medicine, the active principle of the medicine pervades the entire body and it attacks the disease and the disease is gone. So that's how the medicine works. So whether it is any kind of medicine, that's the same principle. So the point is, this indestructible soul cannot be destroyed by any material means. Per se is like, no water cannot drown it, or air cannot dry it, or fire cannot burn it. So because all these are material elements, and spirit, the soul, is the spiritual element. So spirit and matter, they do not go together, they are distinct, and you cannot impact the spirit with matter. So the principle here is the size of the soul is also mentioned, is to be 1/10,000th tip of the hair. So it's like it's very minute, very small. And just like an example can be given, like if a person is driving a car, so if something hits at the back, the person who is driving, he gets to know that something hit at the back. So if you are driving a bike, you know if the rear tire is punctured, or there is less air in that, less pressure in that. Or now let us, if somebody is driving a bus, he would also know that if something hits at the back. Similarly, if somebody is driving a trailer, a 40-foot container or a 40-foot trailer, he would also know that if something is hit at the back. So if you say that the soul is in one place of the body, it is said to be the soul is in the place of the heart. And when you get a thorn pricked at your foot, you get to know that's the presence of the consciousness. So similarly, you can understand that when the person is driving a vehicle, the consciousness of the person pervades the entire vehicle. So if somebody hits at the back, or something happens in the back, something happens in the rear tire, still the person who is driving knows that. So that's how the soul acts. So whether the soul is in a small microbe, or whether the soul is in a huge blue whale, right? So the consciousness pervades the entire body. So if somebody is hitting at the back of the blue whale, the blue whale gets to know. So as I gave the example of the different sizes of the vehicles, so even if a aeroplane, for that matter, it's a huge machine, even if something happens at the back of the aeroplane, the pilot gets to know that. So even if our occupancy in that entire machine is a small place, so soul occupies a very small minute quantity of place in the body, but still the presence of the soul gives rise to the consciousness to the entire body. Anything anywhere happens, whether within or external to the body, the soul gets to know that. That means we get to know that. So we should understand that the existence of the soul gives rise to consciousness in the body. Loss of soul, which is called as death, loses the consciousness of the body. At the same time, we should ponder upon that one has a lot of things to do, as an individual, that we all do a lot of things. and anything that we do, whether that is actually benefiting the soul or benefiting the body. So we always do things that is benefiting the body. We have never bothered about the existence of the soul. We have never bothered about what the soul needs. We have never bothered about the food for the soul. We have been always bothered about the food for the eyes, food for the tongue, food for all the senses, food for the body, food for our mind, food for our intelligence, food for our ego, and so on. So we have been always catering to the food for all these ingredients, but we have never bothered about the food for the soul. So once we get to know the food for the soul, what it is, and we feed the soul with that particular ingredient, then the soul will feel nourished. As like if a hungry person, and he if he's given some kind of stale food, the hungry person would take that food because he's hungry. But with that stale food, if he gets a hot plate of multiple items, so he would not even look at that stale food. So we are kind of engrossed in material pursuits and fulfilling the needs of our senses, body, mind, intelligence, ego, and all that. And we have not yet considered the existence of the soul. What should be the purpose of the soul? What is the purpose? Why do I exist? What is the purpose that I am supposed to do? What is the purpose I am created? So if something is created, there has to be a purpose. So if I am created, there has to be a purpose. What is the purpose that I am created for? So we should ask these questions and find answers to all of them. And Gita gives a profound understanding of these questions, not only on a intellectual level, but on a much more deeper level to the core of us. So let us consider this to be an important and urgent need of our personal lives, that we should equip ourselves with this kind of knowledge. Apart from whatever we are learning and whatever we are doing, this is also very, very important ingredient of our lives, so that we can safeguard not only the present life but also the future life. So please check the description for the upcoming master classes, and please subscribe, like, and share. And then you can also be in touch with me over other social media platforms like LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook, and Instagram, and others. So please like, subscribe, and see you. Bye bye. Thank you.